Today on the workbench, I've got a new project here. This is a Bachmann Spectrum. It is a 2662. So what we're going to do this today, I've got a TCS motherboard that I'm going to put in it. This is a MB1. And then I'm going to have a 28mm speaker that I'm going to put in it. And I'm going to put a 21-pin low sound V5 decoder in this. And, well, let's just pull this out of the box. And we'll get started on it. I'm just going to leave the locomotive in there for now, as I won't need it. But there's the tender. Everything is going to go in the tender on this locomotive. So there's nothing like the present to break into this thing. So what we'll end up doing, these come apart. There's just one screw in the bottom of these. And we'll pull that out. And then there's just two clips back there, but that'll basically pull up. And then when it doesn't get caught on the bar there, but that's the board we're going to replace. And then the speaker will end up, I'll pull this load out of here and show you what I'm going to do with that. That should pry right up. I can't get up in there. There we go. So I can put that speaker right in here, and then I'll drill a series of holes. If you look at TCS has some installations on a lot of installations on their website, and they recommend that you drill, I forget what number hole it is. It's like a number 78 hole in this. So we'll end up doing that. And there's no light in this tender, so all we'll have is the light up front. Put that screw in there. Now this should be a relatively simple install. I'm gonna turn my soldering station on. Now I could have went with an 8-pin adapter and put all this in, but I wanted to try one of these motherboards, and this has a keep alive on it also, so that'll make this installation a lot neater, I think. But I want to see, this should go, that should mount right over top of that board, just like that. So let's go ahead and get started on this. There's one screw holding this down. There's that. And I'll just unsolder all of these, but I'll unsolder them one at a time so I can figure out where they go. Of course, these are our pickups from the tender, and this does have the instructions on it. But first I want to make sure this board is going to fit on here. Well, the keep alives are holding it up. So I'm going to have to somehow put a spacer in there. I don't know if you can see that. If that sits flat, there's probably 1/8 of an inch in there. Something like that. Now I could probably just put some double-sided tape right there, but I don't want to do that. If I set it upside down, then we wouldn't be able to move the decoder. So let us see how we can extend that post. Let's see, I may have some longer screws. Let me dig a screw out here. Okay, it's smaller than a 256. And that's a 256 also. It must be a number 1. It's not a 0. I have zeros. I have 256. Well, I have 080, 256, and 440s. Let me try something. I'm going to tap that out to a 256. There. Now, okay. So now it's a 256. And I think I can use this 256 1/4 inch long. And we'll do this the simple way. Excuse me. Excuse me. Get some washers out here. Well, looks like all I have is zeros for my washers. Got some 1/4 inch standoffs, but I don't need standoffs. Let me try this. This is a KD coupler. Well, the hole's too small for that. Let me get out my... This is a reamer. I can make this hole just a little bigger. See if I can fit down in there now. There, I can screw that down in. So that works. There, that's perfect. I think that'll work out good. I won't have to cut anything. You want to keep this stuff as simple as you can. So we still should be all right with our wiring. Let me put this reamer away. There's that. Move these screws. Get out the soldering gun. I'm going to unhook my leads here for the this is the track pickup. And I'll keep that together for right now. So, track pickup. Let me turn this around. It's the same way as the instruction. Oh, before we get too far along, let's put this shell on here just to make sure. Oh, that's fine shape. We are in fine shape. good there. Now let's start our wiring. Here's our, we'll cut these down some since they don't need to be that long. We'll keep our wiring kind of compact here. Really compact. Get some flux out. We'll try to do these just one at a time. Nice and easy. Tin that up. So there's our black wire. Let's see. I want to keep all of this out of the way. What I can. Tuck that up in underneath. I'll be able to cut about an inch off of that one. A little more solder. And keep that all nice and neat. Going to have to kind of watch the time. I've only got 32 minutes left on this card. So make sure that's tucked down. We're not hitting anything. That's all tucked in. So we've got our track pickups hooked up. Next, I think we'll go, I'm going to come right across the board. Our orange wire is next. Get that off of the board. Like I say, I'm just taking these one by one. Actually, I can take these two off, and I know where they go. So Trying to read what that says. I'll have two more black and reds. That's pickup from the locomotive itself. And then these two, yellow and brown, that will be our light. Or no, that's the motor. Yeah. That's odd. I don't see any wiring for lights. There's got to be. Yeah, there is one light. Oh, dummy. That is the ones I just unhooked are the lights. So, yeah. Pretty sure that's the way that. Because that brown is the motor M plus. Yeah. Yep, I'm scratching my head here again. Let's see. I think I have this instructions downloaded. Okay, I've come back here and I've been trying to figure out what's what on this board. So what I did, I took the locomotive, I untangled that mess of wires there, and I got out my meter. Okay, now you got to remember to take out the pin for the DC, because if you don't, that'll get crossed with your lights and everything. So the way I'm going to do this is I'm going to go down here and touch this bottom wheel, the engineer's side, and we'll go through, and this says in right over here. And that's not the, there you can hear it. So that black wire is the pickup on the engineer's side. from the locomotive. This yellow wire is pickup on the left hand side. And then these two are the lights, or light. And this orange and this red are the motor. So we'll go ahead and I'll leave that meter out because I'm going to need it again here, probably. And we'll go ahead and hook these two. Let me move this up here. And the red was the positive. So positive should be my orange wire. It should be that one. So let's get out some solder. There's that. Now that one, now I know that one's orange, but they had it on this board hooked up to the positive side. And I know that says orange, but put some flux on there. There's those two. Now, so that's the motor, and these, like I say, are pickups from the locomotive. This was this black wire was the right hand side. And I'm going to check that again, just to make sure. So it is the right hand side. So that'll go over here with our other pickup. So there's that one. And this was our left-hand side. Just going to check it again. And I know you can't hear that, but I am checking that with the meter. So we'll pull that off. Clean that tip a little bit. Yep. Okay. There's that. And now these other two will be the light. So let me get them off of that board. Okay, so this, I'm going to take this as our common. And what I'm seeing there is there's a plus right here above that. I don't know if you can read that or not. Let me zoom in. Yeah, you can see that little plus right there. That's for that, and then M is your other side. So at least that's what I'm going to say. What's the worst that can happen here? There's that. Clean that tip a little bit. So now that's all of our connections, except for the speaker. And I'm not worried about it right now. But for now, I've got these plugged in. I am going to set it up on the, well, let's do this here. Just a little test. I'll get the meter out. And I'm going to go down here to this screw. It is our black. So it's picking up off of the left side. Should be. Actually, it's the right side. I told you wrong. Yeah. Okay. And then our left side. So we're good on our pickups. So now we should, and I've only got 16 minutes of SD card left. And that is all going to be turned around backward like that. So before we do anything, I want to make sure one more time so this let's see. Yes, okay, it's right. No, it's not. I thought I had that upside down. See, that's why it pays to check. That would have shorted out in a second. So, now I could unsolder those. Let me make sure. This is the engineer's side, and this is the fireman's side. Oh, I do have them right. Okay, I'm glad I went back to the instructions too. I get to doing, and then I confuse myself. Okay, we're right. That is right. Now I'm going to set this up on my little programming track here. I know you don't want to look at my arm. So. Okay, now that we've got the decoder in and the motherboard in and everything's wired up, we're going to start to install the speaker. TCS recommends that you take the cold load, and they use a 28mm speaker, and they just mount it right to the cold load, just like that. And they've drilled a series of holes in the cold load where that speaker will sit, and so we're going to do that. They recommend it's a number 68-bit and about 70 holes within that area. Well, this one's just a bit smaller than that. This bit is a let me see what it was now. 28 thousandths. So this is a number 70 bit. I've probably got a 68 somewhere, but I'm going to use this 70, and I'll drill the 70 holes in this thing. So I'm not going to waste your time with that, me drilling holes. So I'll do that off camera. Plus I'm running out of SD card. So when I come back, I'll have the speaker probably installed. Well, I'll show you the holes and then I'll install the speaker. Alright, I've got the holes drilled, and there are 70 holes in the top of that coal load, and you can't see any of them. I'm even looking at this right now. I mean, I have to really look for them. So it's pretty indiscreet. But I've also went ahead and attached the speaker, and I hot glued it to the coal load. I've got my wires soldered to it. So let's go ahead and we'll put this down in here. I drilled a small hole in the bottom there to where I could run that through. And there we go. Just like it was never there. So, and I'll leave these long, that way if I want to take the tender off, like those will coil up in there nicely. But I'll go ahead and strip these off, tin them, and solder them up to the board. They just go on those two right there. And we'll have to see if there is a positive and negative on the speaker board. So I'll find that out and then solder them back, and I'll be back. Okay, I've got the speaker in, I've got it soldered to the board. I haven't put it all together yet, and I downloaded a program into the decoder itself. And well, here, we'll just turn this on. Let's see, yeah, ESU didn't have a 2662. So I just went with the first thing I found, and I can always change it. But this is a 466 or 4884. It's a Challenger program. So you can hear the air coming off of it. There's the dynamo. There's the Johnson bar into forward, letting the air off. There's our bell. It doesn't really sound too bad. I haven't fooled with the volume or anything on it. So the horn doesn't sound too bad. I'll put it in reverse here. It'll take off. So I'll slow it down here. The brake squeal to a stop. Turn the light off. Now, so I'm going to take and put this all together, and then we'll come back with a side view of it. Okay, so I've got it all together now, and we got it up on the stands. We'll turn it on here, and we'll start it up. Oh, there. So we've got some motion there. Turn the headlight on. I know you can't see it, but you can hear the dynamo. And I haven't adjusted the chuff rate, so I know it's off. So it has a pretty good sound to it, and I haven't adjusted the volume, really anything on it. That's just right out of off the program or into the locomotive. So now when I slow this down, you can hear that. You can hear the brakes. So, well, we're going to call this one complete, and I think this will be a pretty good runner. I have to take it over to the club maybe this weekend and put it on the layout and let it run around a little bit. But anyway, we're going to call this a finished project, and thanks for watching.